and welcome to probably the hottest Transformers Tuesday on record. My thermostat is currently reading 28 degrees inside. Hannah and I are very uncomfortable. But it is what it is. It is so very warm space, you're right. Congrats on being first space. You've reclaimed your throne. Kept warm by Versace, although, again, as Strix rightly said earlier, don't really need to keep anything warm in this weather. Welcome, Versace. Hope you're well. So, yeah, because it's so warm, we're just going to dive right into the unboxing. So, today we have Transformers Age of the Primes, the 13, Solus Prime, Prima Prime, and Megatronus. In that order. And I've got the TF Wiki open to give an introduction into each of these guys. So we're starting with Solus Prime. Seen here. I quite like the Age of the Primes box. It's minimalist and yet also still features that iconic Transformers artwork. You've got a shot of Solus there with her hammer, Forge hammer. We'll get into that in the little blurb that I read out in just a second. Turning into a nice Cybertronian car there. You get some previews here about other members of the 13. So on the left there, you've got Solus. The one on the right is Alchemist Prime, I believe. I don't quite know who the one in the middle is. Hopefully that much is explained as more toys come out. Just some stuff on the back featuring the hammer. I don't know what the Cybertronian text turns into. Not too fussed about that myself. Another profile shot of Solus, and there we have it. And then there's just gubbins on the bottom. The 13 Solus Prime on the top. So Solus Prime. Among the 13 original primes, Solus Prime is the maker and creator. Among her friends, she is much loved for both her abilities to forge nearly any device they need, and for her intelligence and positive supportive personality. If she has any flaw, it's her fierce and angry temper that quickly flares up at any sign of injustice. She finds joy in creation, which is why she's particularly close friends with Nexus Prime, Megatronus Prime, and Onyx Prime, who revel in similar pursuits. Her closest relationship, however, is to Megatronus. The two are bound by a close, devoted romantic love, unique among the 13, and spend much of their time online and off, rejoicing in each other's presence. The fact that both have quick, fiery tempers surely won't cause them issues down the road. All female Transformers are patterned from her template, and thus are gifted with a similar processing architecture, which is the main differentiation between them and their male counterparts. Many of the arsenal of magnificent weaponry and icons wielded by the other original Transformers are her impressive handiwork, created by an icon of her own, the Forge of Solus Prime, aided by her unique cognitive systems specializing in wide-ranging and powerful parallel processing, and manifesting in the holographic lattice known as the Creation Lathe. Her creations include the Star Saber, the Requiem Blaster, the Chimera Stone, the Apex Armor, the Infinite Combinatronic, the Chaos Edge, Chaos Edge, sounds like fucking Shadow the Hedgehog, the Cyber Caliber, the Quill, the Xenomicon, the Terminus Blade, and the Enigma of Combinations. So, yeah, Solus Prime is one of the creators. Really good at making things. Yeah, there we go. And is a confirmed female Transformer, the pioneer of all female Transformers, at least according to the aligned continuity. The aligned continuity was an effort in the 2010s to kind of like flesh out one solid Transformers canon, which was the Transformers Prime cartoon, the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games, and some other media that was coming out around about that time. And these incarnations of the 13 Primes were very much centered around that, as I understand it. And a lot of it is featured in the Transformers Ultimate Guidebook, which I think I have. I don't think I've ever shown it on stream, or if I have, it's been a while. But, yeah. Anyway, enough about that. I said I was going to get on with this, so let's just fling the box around and get her open. Solus Prime. There we are. That was a nice retrieval. Got some instructions there. You got the gubbins there. I need scissors. Scissors are here. I'm no longer having to hunt down the kitchen scissors. I've got some on the desk. Okay, I think that's everything. Oh no, there's on the wrists as well. I've got another incentive to try and finish this unboxing quickly. Because I got a new charge cable because my long charge cable was going wrong. It wasn't working anymore. And the one I've got to replace it is slightly too short to reach over to where the phone is. So my phone is running on limited battery, but hopefully it'll last long enough for this. God, sorry, I haven't put her back on camera yet because I'm just already impressed and like, oh, this feels really great. So let's just stand Solus there. We've got to get the special bits out. There we go. I'm trying to tear into the fucking fish and chip paper. Throwing her down. Solus Prime is a she. Oh god. There we go. Have to go and get that piece back up off the floor. It's alright, we only do predictions for the Lego unboxings. This doesn't count. Okay. Thankfully that didn't go far. So, her, what is it, the Nexus Forge, is that what it was called? The Forge of Solus Prime, yeah. What's wrong here? No, nothing's wrong, that should be where it goes. Ooh. Oh, I don't know actually. No, let's look at the instructions, shall we? Makes more sense, doesn't it? Rather than trying to figure it out myself and getting it wrong. Ah, see, nice small instructions. The peg won't fit in the hole. Heard that one before. So, this bit... Oh, yeah, no, I was right. It is meant to fit on the end here. It's just, very tight. There we go. There we are. That's the Forge of Solus Prime right there. And it does feature storage. God, I'm sticking to the instructions. It does store in quite an odd place. Like, a hammer, you'd expect to, like... Oh, I don't know, that doesn't look so bad. I suppose it makes sense that, you know what, these guys are actually getting in the way, aren't they? She's kind of blending in with the background. There we go. So, Solus Prime. Something I found interesting is that Solus Prime, on the artwork, she's got red eyes, but the character here has green eyes. So I don't know if that was a genuine mistake. Oh, and actually, on here, she's also shown having red eyes. Can't really see them, but yeah. That they are. But in hand, they are very much green. I wonder if that was a last-minute change because they thought, oh, red eyes means she's a baddie. When the primes are kind of like, well, I don't know, they're their own faction. They just, I suppose they're intended to be a force for good, but there it is. Yeah, so as I said before, like straight out of the box, I'm like, this is really good. Honestly, the quality of Transformers has kind of come a long way in recent years. Maybe they're getting more expensive. I mean, but it shows, and I think ultimately the price is worth it. I mean, Omega Prime, amazing, and from what I know about Megatronus, also amazing. Very excited to see what that looks like. So yeah, really good plastic quality. I really like the detailing, even though there's actually not much going on. it is just, you know, three simple colours: gold, purple, and like a silvery grey. That's all there is to it. All the detailing is just in like the shapes and the sculpting. But you know, you don't feel like it's unfinished, like you do with some things. Like there's no massive sheets of plastic that just have nothing done with them. There's also, like, even though there's minimal colours, I think it's nice that it's not like lacking colour. I don't really know how to get across the point I'm making, but yeah. Something I think must have been seen on an earlier version is I thought that this was all going to be one piece, this like front skirt bit, but it is actually split, which I prefer. I think having it all as one piece would have looked a bit odd. But yeah, no, honestly, really impressed. And this is a deluxe figure as well. This is like a basic size, not as basic as like your core class or legends class size. They've done a lot for something so small in the regular size class. It's too warm to think of words. I'm probably making zero sense. Anyway, yeah, really like this. I'm excited to see the transformation. Doesn't really transform into anything you can compare with. It's just a Cybertronian car, but you know, what's a transformer without the ability to transform? An action master is the answer. So, just a 90-degree elbow bend there. Nothing special, but it does what you need it to. The hands are on a ball joint. They're a little bit tight. Obviously, with a ball joint, you get some rotation there. You can also bend her wrists inward, but I guess that would be transformation based. Shoulders. So these shoulder pads, these armor pads, kind of move on a double hinge joint, which again I figure was probably more for transformation. But it's cool that you can do it, and I guess that leaves you options to move the shoulder around. Again, the shoulder itself is also kind of 90 degrees only. I think the armor is getting in the way there, but that's fine. Can't really rotate the shoulder back that far, but you can tilt the armor piece forward, and that gives you the clearance required. I mean, you could even have the shoulder pads kind of floating, if you liked. But I prefer them having them down a little bit, looking a bit more connected, and sitting at an angle as well. The head is, I mean, it's on a separate piece there. You can see this kind of piece there under the chin. I think that's meant to like just tuck in there. It doesn't snap, but it does rest here. So I think that's where the head's meant to be. The head is on a ball joint as well, so you've got some head tilt. You can look up and down, side to side. I noticed that Solus has the iconic like ear antenna, much like Optimus Prime does. I don't know how many other Primes have that, but it's nice to see. It's nice to see references to Optimus Prime among these guys. She also has sculpted hair on the back, which is an interesting choice. But there it is. So yeah, waist. I don't think there is. Is there a waist? Oh, there is. Yeah. Oh yeah, cool. And you do get the clearance. Again, you have to kind of modify how the armor sits. So this bit on the back, you do have to like push it up, and that lets the legs rotate all the way around. As for the legs themselves, yeah, so this bit comes up, and there's that much of a high bend in the hip. 90 degrees at the knee, but then there is a second joint in the knee. Again, I suspect that's transformation related, but it does give you a little bit more of a bend. Otherwise it sits there like that. It snaps there. This bit actually unsnaps from where it is. So I don't think this bit is intentional, but it's still there. There's a heel ankle tilt there. And the feet on individual rotators. Rotato. Nice. Yeah, really good range of motion. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing what all the primes look like together, because I think they've all got quite stark differences in their designs. They're all very unique. Let's just see what she looks like with the hammer. So this kind of works the same way as War for Cybertron Ironhide's axe. Really nice grip in there. It's not too tight, but it's tight enough that she can actually hold it. Big fan of that. Which way should the forge be? That way. Ooh, there we go. There we are. There's a dynamic pose of Solus Prime. Ugh. And then, yeah, I showed off the weapon storage on her back earlier. Let's get the transformation done, shall we? Whoops. Sorry, that wasn't me. She fell over. Let's take this off. Take that out. Yeah, another section of the instructions show to store it on her back. Okay, here we are. Coming around to the back, we pull this bit down. Although it's already kind of as far back as it'll go. Oh, I see. Okay. There's these two little grooves in the back that fit into a piece of her shoulders. They weren't actually connected out of the box. That's fine. This... Is that as far back as they can go? No, that can't be right. Ah, there we go, like that. Flip this up. Head goes up and around inside the neck. Close that bit there. These two bits up. And this bit rotates on its own like that. Actually, it's sideways. Wait, what? Oh, I see. It's got to go like that. Okay. Rotate this around. Flip the wheels out on the ankles and fold the toes down like that and rotate those like that. Oh, and then... Oh, hang on, like that, okay. Right, I think that's how it's meant to go. Oh, I think these need to come up again. Like that. I think they're meant to snap into place. Oh yeah, that one did. Where are you going to go? Oh, like that, okay. Right, yep, that bit's done. Now we come back around this side. And there's these panels on the arms, which seem a bit loose. That bit just came right off its hinge. There we go, that bit stayed put. Okay. How's that meant to look? Like that? No. Oh, it's showing to fold the wrist up. Okay. There we go, like that. shoulder pads down. Rotate these that way. And then there's separate purple pieces here that come up. Right. And then shoulders move like that. Well, that ain't right. Ah! Right, get back in there. Yeah, I'm a little confused by how... Oh, is it meant to be like that, I guess? This doesn't look like what the instructions are showing me. They're a little bit unclear here. So I've got the arms out like this, and that's definitely how the instructions look. And I got these bits, and I'll move those purple pieces up in the air. So these turn this way. But then apparently they're supposed to stay in that position, or even fold down closer to the arm. But... oh man. Oh, is it because they're supposed to do... ah. Okay. That's how it's meant to work. There we go. So then... oh, Jesus. Okay. These come up and sit astride the kind of grill. Okay. Yeah, we did that bit. And then the arms come up this way. And that bit tabs onto there. Okay, cool, we got it. So if I can show that off a bit better. Yeah, like that. Okay, is that it? It looks like that might be it. Oh, okay, we almost had it. Yeah, the arms were a bit more complicated than I was expecting. I mean, again, hopefully just now that I've looked at the instructions once, I'll be able to just transform it back and forth and really get to know it, but... oh, there we go, I've got rid of that wobble. There we go, that's it. A little Cybertronian speedster kind of thing. And then there's... oh yeah, your classic Transformers weapon storage vehicular edition, where the hammer just tabs onto the side like that. Yeah, this bit keeps coming undone. There we go. Really bad wheel clearance there, but there we are. It does what it should do. It looks like a Cybertronian car, except for the fact that it's got a fucking cockpit in there, or driver's seat. But I mean, at a push, you could just think, well, maybe it was just a natural adaptation of Cybertronians. They had their visual sensors went from like the fronts or the tops of their vehicle modes into the windscreens of like, you know, earthly vehicles. I don't know. I mean, a Transformer, you want it to look like a car, and this looks like a car, albeit an alien one. I like how the hip skirts kind of became this like streamlined, like point, almost like not a spoiler, maybe like a spoiler, to kind of. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how aerodynamic that is for a car, but you know, it gives the impression of speed. Not that she needed to be fast, but you know, it's nice to know that. You know, again, if you think of the audience this is aimed at, you know, i.e., a child, wants to look at this and think, oh yeah, a really fast car, you know. There's a bit of a roll, but this wheel isn't turning, so I think there's some clearance issues, but it's fine. We're not here to do scale electric with them, are we? There we have Solus Prime. Overall, very impressed with this deluxe scale Prime. She is going to look absolutely tiny next to Megatronus. Once they're all in vehicle modes, we'll have them side by side, and then we'll turn them all into robots and see them side by side, and then we'll get all these guys out in once. There we are. Solus Prime. Tick. So up next is Prima Prime, who you'll be glad has a much smaller bio than Solus. Which is surprising, because Prima Prime, actually we'll talk about the box, same layout as Solus. So here you've got Prima Prime, Vector Prime, and Alpha Trion. In this continuity, Alpha Trion is one of the original 13 primes. And there you've got Till All Are One. Some stuff on the back. And here you can see the Matrix of Leadership with Prima. So Prima, aka Prima Prime, is the first Transformer. Created by Primus, he was appointed the Warrior of Light and given the legendary Star Saber with the Matrix of Leadership in its hilt. Chosen to lead the 13 against their eternal enemy Unicron, he and the rest of the 13 were made stewards of Primus's planetary form, Cybertron. It is uncertain what relationship Prima has, if any, to Primon, another early Matrix bearer. Prima is quoted as saying, "We are Primus, we are Prima, we are Prime Nova, we are Sentinel Prime, we are Optimus Prime." That's not quite the right timeline of the primes leading down to Optimus Prime. I think you've got a Zeta Prime in there somewhere at some point. Honestly, it's probably Prime's insurmountable. Right, moving on to a Voyager class figure now, so he'll be a little bit larger, and indeed the box is a little bit larger. But size matters not.
Judge me by my size, do you?
So I don't think a lot of people care for Prima, but again, I wanted to get all 13 primes, so I'm more than happy to have Prima in my collection. Let's just cut these bits. Interesting that Prima doesn't have the little baggie with the accessories in. They're just, you know, they're tied directly into the cardboard back. I think that's everything. Yeah, good. Bring you over here for a second. And then, of course, we just got the little itty-bitty matrix here. There we go. I've totally put that back in backwards, but what the hey. So, first of all, here's the Age of the Prime's interpretation of the Star Saber. A much more conservative blade than the Star Saber usually is. They had the Star Saber in the Unicron trilogy, Transformers Armada, where it's 3 Minicons who combine into the Star Saber. It kind of like had a blade that would start thin, get wider, and then thin again at the end. What else have we had? Star Saber has also been a character. Star Saber was the leader of the Autobots for a time as well in Transformers Victory, I want to say. Which is, that led on to Victory Saber as well. But, you could also think, oh, well, Star Saber, the namesake, is because of the blade. But this isn't all of it. Here's the hilt. Attach like that. And you get a detachable Matrix of Leadership, which I believe is the same size and shape as the one I just threw on the floor. Hang on. God damn it. Sorry, yeah, it's the same size and shape as the Matrix that came with, I think, Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. So if that's true, then I'll do some pictures for the Discord at some point this week. But yeah, so that attaches into the hilt of the blade. Maybe not that side, but this side. There we go. So it is only on one side. That bit is just a separate 5 millimeter peg. It's a cool looking blade though. I like the silver latching onto the blue kind of energy blade. Again, referencing Optimus Prime, this kind of reminds me of like the energy axe that Optimus Prime famously wields. It shouldn't, because this is a sword, and those are an axe. That is an axe, sorry. But it is what it is. So Prima also seems to have optional shoulder armor pieces. I'll kind of show them off in a second. I'm not really sure what looks best. He does have an odd head shape as well. But he feels great in hand, just like Solus did. I'm a little less wowed by... Hang on, let's just get him on camera. Here he is. Prima Prime, the first Transformer. Optimus Prime's direct ancestor. Maybe. So, yeah, these shoulder pieces, you can kind of angle them up like that. Which, I don't know, I think that kind of works. Looking at the OBS preview, it looks like it looks better than it does in front of me. But this is how they came out of the box. Which I think also maybe kind of works. There you are anyway. What was I saying? I was less wowed by the use of colour. These are mostly unpainted. I think that's the impression I'm getting. Solus Prime may well be made up of unpainted, purple printed parts, but these are definitely grey printed parts with just minor paint detailing on. But again, that's not to poo-poo the figure itself. It's got the same nice sculpted detailing that I enjoyed on Solus Prime. Looks like he's got a few additions in terms of posability as well. But yeah, there's the odd head shape. He kind of has these little C-clip things on the side of his head. I have seen an upgrade kit where someone changes what his head looks like. I'm not that fussed. I think this looks fine as is. He's got a little bit of weight to him, but he is a Voyager class figure, so maybe that's to be expected. Yeah. Again, I think once they're all laid out together, they're going to look like a real band of misfits, but it's still going to be cool thinking, yeah, the 13 primes, I'm especially excited for Onyx Prime, to be honest, but I mentioned that yesterday, because he has a robot form, a centaur form, and a beast form. Like this giant mechanical dragon thing. It's going to be cool. Anyway, Prima, or Prima Prime. A very nice elbow bend there. What is that? 90... I can't really do the math. So if that's 90... Hang on. Starts from 180. 90... 75, maybe? I don't know. Don't think too hard about it. Hello, Venomane. Welcome. Welcome to the unboxing. We're 2/3 of the way through, kind of, nearly. I need to get a move on because I don't know how quickly my phone's going to die. 13 primes. That's maths talk. Indeed it is. Yeah, really good elbow bend there. Upper arm swivel, hand swivel, and then we spied this earlier. His fingers open out. I don't think that's necessary to get the sword in hand, because his thumb is kind of angled to fit 5mm pegs. But there you are, matrix on the inside there. I mean, I'm right-handed, so I pose my transformers right-handed. But so I kind of feel like the matrix should be on the outside, but then the blade is facing the wrong way to my eyes. But if you put it here, it's on the outside, but then that's left-handed. So I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking on that too much. It's a personal preference, so maybe I am. Oh, I didn't even look at the storage options. The sword can go on the side like that, or if you really wanted to, you can have it as like some kind of weird wrist-mounted blade, oversized blade. Or you could have it up here, sticking out above his head. Is that going to work that way? Nope, because that's not the same slot. Fine. So he's got that weapon storage. Shoulders are moving up and down. That's a joint that is, I think, part of transformation, because I think it's only his chest armor that's stopping that from going any further higher. Yeah, there you go. That just kind of rubs over something. Otherwise, the shoulder piece moves up like that, and that's how you get that shoulder up and down movement. You got to move this back in place. Can rotate around that way. The head, ooh, can look very high up. Superman comes out in a few weeks. Hashtag look up. I am excited for it. Really looking forward to Superman. Hannah and I are planning when we're going to go see it, along with Jurassic World Rebirth and Fantastic Four. And maybe 28 years later, but we'll see. Waist swivel. I thought there might have been an ab crunch, but there isn't one. That's fine. An excellent spread. I didn't see what Solus' spread was like, never mind. These little hip skirt pieces. And kick way far out, and the knee has a little bit of a bend as well. Bending this way, that's as much as you get. And then his feet have a nice ankle tilt as well. There we go. Yeah, another one that feels really good in hand. There's something weird going on with the knees where they kind of click into place there, and once they click out of place, they're a bit tight, and you can't really straighten it very well. He kind of has to have the legs. Yeah, I don't know. That was a bit strange, but it does look the part when he stands up. Like his legs aren't bent at a weird angle. There we are. Prima Prime. Time for the old transformation. The instructions are the same size as Solus Prime's. I am appreciative of that. You shouldn't have to buy a plot of land to see transformation instructions. Ooh, of course I didn't do this. Let's take the matrix off and put it in his chest cavity. So this bit just folds down, and the matrix sits in here like this. That closes up. I mean, that even might help me get around the idea of it being in his sword. It does kind of make me think, what's the point in having it on the hilt if he can put it in his chest? I suppose maybe it charges the Star Saber, or maybe light our darkest hour by putting the Matrix on the sword and killing everyone with it. So, yeah, I don't know. I sound like I'm being heavily critical about this. I promise I'm not. I am enjoying it. It's nice to have these different storage options. As you know, I am a big fan of storage options for accessories on a Transformer. I'm going to leave the Matrix in there as we convert him into his Cybertronian van mode. I guess it's a van. So these bits come forward like that. Hand up like this. Oh, the hand is also on a ball joint, so that offers the same kind of posability for the most part as Solus. They just sit there like that. And then this whole piece rotates, does it? Looks like it. Then this whole assembly comes back like that. Yeah. And then this rotates like that. So he's looking at his own chest cavity. Fold these wheels out, these Cybertronian wheels. And then the head comes back and down like that. And then this whole bit forward like that. That's not really what it says, but I think it just means to detach it. And then here, this bit comes up. Or does it? Like that. Oh, right, okay. These kind of move up on those double joints under the shoulders. These bits clip in there. Yeah. So we get this kind of block here. Yep, that's all pieced together well. And I think this... Oh, I think I should have done that after this bit. There we go. Okay, I think that's how that's meant to be. Yep. Follow the instructions to the letter. And then this bit folds all the way down, and there's a couple of clips on the shoulders there that fasten that together. Yep, there we go. Right, now coming around to the back, we are flipping out these wheels. Feet in like this. And then put the legs together. Holding it this way. This bit. But I mean, it already looks like it's in the right place. Where is that telling me to move that? Or did it just mean down like that? Oh, it must have meant like that. Okay. There we go. And then... oh, I see, like that. Okay, the wheels fold down on the undercarriage. Like that. And that's it. There's Prima, or Prima Prime, as a little Cybertronian van. Oh, that's interesting. So, Yeah, there's a couple of storage options. One of them is more interesting than the other, I think. So we pull this apart. The blade comes in here. I think that's kind of held in there by friction. So again, you get that kind of sweeping point along the back, like how Solus did. And then this piece, you just store it under here. Which looks, honestly, really janky. But I suppose if it's underneath the car, or van, whatever you want to call it, you shouldn't really be thinking about it, so it's out of sight. No, it's not. No. I am just going to double check the instructions to make sure that that's right, because that's where it was pointing to. Yeah, no, that is 100% correct. That's where that hilt is stored, right there. But yeah, I mean, it works. Oh, you've also got Prima's face, staring face down at the ground as he rolls around. So the other thing was to take the sword and the hilt, put them back together. Do you know what I just realised, because I'm a fucking idiot, is that you can rotate which way the hilt faces. So I needn't have complained about which way the Matrix faces. Another classic robo error. Anyway, so the instructions say literally storing the sword like this, as like a kind of front-mounted spear. Yeah, I mean, he's fucked if he misses, isn't he? This is like jousting. Right, I suppose we should get onto the vehicle mode. I actually really like this. It's a nice, chunky Cybertronian van. Or armoured car. I guess you could interpret it whichever way you like. It just speaks van to me. You could, or like, you know, you can imagine it like charging the front lines, like bull rushing, like against enemies or whatever. I like that you can bend these shoulder armor pieces, almost like a kind of ramming thing, so they can come way out like that. Ramming speed! Exactly. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, it all fits together really nicely now. It wasn't as complicated as Solus's was. This bit seems to be... I don't think that's misaligned, I think it's just how the moulding is. It's not flexing into place the way this side is. So there's clearly something there that's too big or too small or whatever to make it not face directly down. But it's fine, because as we saw, rolling, not a problem. Look at this. And of course, because it's plastic wheels, nice drifting ability. Transformers Tokyo Drift. Let's put the storage back. Yeah, this really is odd. I think it's... yeah, no, that's the best place for it to go by the looks of it. I mean, I suppose I could have this pinned on the side, like that. And he's got kind of a side-mounted gun. That looks kind of better, doesn't it? So there's Prima Prime. Done. And now we move on to what is personally my most anticipated of this trio. Megatronus. I mean, I suppose he's meant to be Megatronus Prime, but canonically he is just called Megatronus. Later to be known as the Fallen. When Primus created the first Transformers, he made a Dark Warrior who would be in touch with entropy and destruction. Known as Megatronus, or Megatronus Prime, he is the most powerful of the original Primes, who battled Unicron in the earliest days of Cybertron. When not using fiery mystic abilities, dark science, or gravitational powers, he wields the most dangerous of artifacts, the Requiem Blaster. Unfortunately, his inherently dark nature often leads him down a tragic path. In most realities, his original name is replaced by a more well-known title, the Fallen. Often manipulated by other members of the 13, the Fallen is best known for becoming a Cybertronian analogue to the biblical Cain, committing Cybertron's first murder with the death of his beloved. In some realities, he willingly betrays the 13 by siding with Unicron and becomes the first Decepticon, making him more akin to Judas. Even in realities where he doesn't take a villainous turn, his legacy is inevitably one of betrayal and death. While his size, shape, and colours may vary between realities, his most common physical feature is his face, which often serves as the inspiration for a certain faction's insignia during the Great War. In short, he's usually bad news. Obviously this version of Megatronus does not inspire the Decepticon symbol, but the Megatronus in Transformers 1 very much does inspire the Decepticon insignia. No, honestly, this version of Megatronus is very much inspired by, and this is like a 20-year-old reference at this point, the old Dreamwave Transformers comics who featured the Fallen. This is what that design is based on. Complete with flame effects to add to the figure. We'll look at that in a second. So here you've got a few more primes. Now, interestingly, this one here looks more like Power Master Optimus Prime, who, as far as I'm aware, hasn't been announced for this line. So it might be a different Prime. It might not be Optimus Prime as Power Master. It could be a different guy. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Here, I think that might be Onyx Prime. I'm not entirely sure. Honestly, there's 13 different primes. This is only 3 of them. I think the only other ones we know we're getting are Alchemist Prime, Alpha Trion, Micronus Prime, and Onyx Prime, who I mentioned earlier. Some others may be ready, but that's only 4 more. So there's still another 5. Wait, I can't count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, I was right. There's still 6 more yet to be revealed that I'm aware of. And then, of course, you've got the Fallen Megatronus here. Till all are one. Leader class figure. You can see we've got some hints at what he comes with. There's the Requiem Blaster. Tank mode, robot mode. He's got another little axe here. A sword. And again, more of those flame effect pieces. There he is, looking very much on fire there. The Requiem Blaster forces people to endure and watch Requiem for a Dream movie. Yeah, it's just a projector. And it just projects it onto the nearest surface. You will watch this movie. Right, here we go. Very excited to see what this guy's like, because I've heard nothing but good praise. Good praise? Nothing but praise, I should say. So here we go. So Megatronus has a little mix of things. You've got the little paper bit, and you've got accessories that won't escape from there. There we go. So we've got like a straight up machete here. Machete. This bit is I think it's just a handle for the axe that we saw earlier, if you want to call it an axe. And then here we have the Requiem Blaster. So I mean, I did list it off in the things that Solus Prime was known to have created, but she actually made the Requiem Blaster. I think, from what I recall in the Aligned continuity, Megatronus was like, hey babe, I want a gun that is absolutely mega, please can I have one? And Solus Prime is like, sure, I'll make you the most powerful weapon in the universe. And then they got into an argument about it. And then in a fit of rage, Megatronus blasts Solus Prime with the Requiem Blaster and kills her. So even a Greek tragedy didn't see this one coming. As you can see, you can extend the barrel or condense it. I think that's intended for tank mode or vehicle mode, vehicle mode or robot mode, but you can have it either way, I suppose, can't you? Excuse me. Right, let's get these bits. Which will be... there you go. There's the axe head. And then you get... Oh my god, like a little missile pod thing Didn't even know about that. There's a fire effect. There's another fire effect. See, they are angled. They're meant to go on his like shoulders and stuff. Purely for decoration. There's a gun barrel, I think. And then... oh god. Another angled fire piece and another flat piece of fire. That's it, there's nothing else in there. Let's free Megatronus from his prison and find out where all these things go. Okay. Oh wow, yeah. He is really cool. Oh my god, he's fucking badass. He feels good, he looks good. Sorry, I'll bring him in front of the camera in a second. I'm just making sure he's looking presentable. Those bits don't seem to want to stay in place. Brilliant. Ah. Okay, hopefully that'll stay put now. Fucking hell. Okay, there we are. So I put his missile pod on because I think that everything else is like just optional. God knows if this is the right way this goes on. No, that looks like something else. Ah, okay. So they go together. Then... oh, I've got no idea where this piece goes. We'll have to look in the instructions and find out. Some of the times I can just guess, and it's usually right. So, obviously there's the axe, he can hold that. We'll put this on his arm as well. And then he's got this machete, which we'll put on this side. Okay, let's clear this up. Right, I can move the boxes away now. Okay. Oh, a couple of bits there. Right, honestly, it looks fucking incredible. Like, it's taken the really nice paint applications that I liked about Solus Prime and dialed it up to 11 for this guy. I love that he just looks like a walking furnace. Like, you know, you've got those grills with like yellow paint behind them almost everywhere that just, you know, really alludes to that like fiery insides, you know. It's a bit on the nose, but it, you know, it does directly reference that fiery temper like the wiki just mentioned. I mean, he's labelled as a dark warrior, and you can absolutely see that. He's got a fair share of melee and projectile weapons, not least the Requiem Blaster, included among the batch. He's a one-man army. He looks it and he feels it as well. Some really interesting little toe detailing here. Oh man, seriously impressed with this guy. I mean, I knew I would be, but yeah, there we are. Let's put some flame detailing on him, just for a bit of fun. So this bit actually pegs onto the side, like that, to the side of his shoulder. Same on this side. And then these bits go... Where do they go? There's like a 5mm peg on this side that I need to find a home for. I mean, the instructions are probably going to tell me. I probably should just have a look at them, shouldn't I? Right, here we go. Ah, you know, surprisingly, he's a leader class figure, and yet his instructions, same size, or at least a little bit bigger than Prima Primes. Oh, okay. So this... It's literally just another, like, cannon. Where's that going? It's going here. There we go. I think it might be there to reference Megatron's gun barrel for his robot mode. Maybe. Although I suppose you can just have it face down like that and then it's just out of the way. Right, these go here, actually. So those 5mm pegs don't actually go anywhere. They just go behind his shoulders like that. So there he is, fired up and ready to go. Literally. Yeah, definitely the best of the bunch so far. Let's take his weapons away. He's riddled with storage as well, storage options. So you can have the sword there. Take this out of his other hand and have that here. Although I think there's also an option to have it here. No, that's wrong. It's definitely this way. So you've got the axe and the sword there. I guess the Requiem Blaster could store on the back as well, but I mean, this is kind of where it lives, so that's fine. It can stay there. No storage for these fire effect pieces because they're supposed to be a fire effect. They're just decorative. I am quite happy to enjoy this figure without these, but I still think it's cool that it came with them. He is still a fucking badass. There's a close look at the head there. Almost like a maniacal grin, isn't it? Like Joker-esque. Yeah. Okay, so I will just take this off just for ease of movement. His head is on a very loose ball joint, but means you can just get these like micro poses. You can look up that far, down that far. You can look in all directions. Yeah, again, over 90 degrees on the elbow bend. Wrist swivel, which I think is also on a ball joint again, so you get a little bit of hand nodding. Fingers open as well. Shoulders are... Yeah, they are kind of on a butterfly joint. That might be more for transformation because they kind of pull out like that, but you can bend the shoulders this way. Otherwise, they're just up like that or forward like that. There is a waist swivel, nice. Legs like that. No ratchets, everything's friction joints. So the knee kicks out that far back, and you can see the little groove in the knee there. Kind of helps hold the leg in a straight line. Straightens the leg. The feet are a bit hollow, but I can see past it. Am I going to sneeze? Excuse me. Yes, I am going to sneeze. Yeah, I don't really mind this kind of gappiness in the feet. But you do get some serious ankle tilt with that. Oh God, I'm so warm. Yeah, he's seriously fucking badass. This would appeal to people who just want to collect the bad guys. It will appeal to people who want to collect just badass looking robots, because he is fucking badass. Let us now turn him into a badass tank. Because he's already a walking tank. May as well turn into one, am I right? Ugh, excuse me. Grim. How's my battery on my phone? Can't actually see the battery at the moment. Never mind. We'll see how we go. Alright, so... Transformation. Yep, here he is. So, first of all, the hands come out like that. Fold the wrists up, and they go back into the hands. I've left my windows open in case you can hear things that sound like it's coming from the outside. Oh, God. I don't know where the breezes have gone. There was a nice breeze blowing through earlier. Just seems to be still air again now. Come on, you silly bit. Just click in there. Right, what is so different? What are you doing that's different to the other side? Nothing. Literally looks the same. So that might be a problem. Let me try and rotate the wrist and see if that helps. No. Okay. How about that way? Oh no, that's not even closing at all, because the thumb's getting in the way. Alright. Yeah, something's not right with this. Do you know, I think I've been quite lucky, because some people post in like the Transformers groups about how they get figures who have had like 2 left hands, 2 right hands or something, 2 left legs, and they can't transform it or do anything with it, and they have to get in touch with Hasbro like customer services to be like, yo, my Transformer's got two left hands. I don't think I've ever had one like that. Wind isn't from outside. There's no fucking wind at all. Honestly, if it was my own wind, at least it'd be a fucking breeze, stinky as it would be. Yeah, why are you closing so easily, but you are not? Ugh. What's going on there? Oh, interesting. It's alright, it's not a 2 left hand or 2 right hand problem, but I can see it now. So here, I don't know how well that's showing up, you can see that it's a different size to here. You see on this side. So that gap there is meant to clip into this piece here, but it's too small. That's why it's not closing. So if it's an issue of bent plastic, I'm hoping that perhaps off stream, like a hairdryer or something might do it. Don't really enjoy the idea of turning on a hairdryer in this heat, but, you know, I'll do what I can. Now, where the fuck did that go? Where's my little... Where's my little... No, it's not there. Not there. I used it to get into the box. Oh, it's here. Okay. That's really strange. Never seen that before. I don't know if that's a... I think it does look like it's a moulded plastic problem. I don't really know how I'm going to get around that. Except by being brutal with it. Which I don't enjoy, but, you know. Okay, that might do it. Okay, I kind of fixed it. Doesn't look very pretty, but it should do the job. Yep, there we go. Lovely jubbly. Now we can get back to transforming. Alright. Okay. Yep, we closed that up. Rotate these around by the looks of it. Like that. Then, yeah, this bit was loose out of the box, but that folds up. And then the shoulders come forward like this. Ugh, excuse me. And then this whole assembly comes down like that. And then these out like this. Oh, what, and then that comes down again, does it? Looks like it. Yeah, okay. Then... oh, I see, there's like a double hinge. Okay, that comes down like that. These fold up like that, and we can see some tank treads there. Rotate the head around. Then these pieces fold like that and rotate all the way around. And then up. Is that like that? Or is that rotating again? No. Oh, no, it's like that. Okay. I think. And then these open up like that. These bits out like that. And they rotate. And then we turn the page. Pages. Turn the pages. Right, and then these close up over those tank treads. And then they fold this way and tab into here. Yes, good, good. That looks a bit out of place there, so I don't think that's where it belongs. So I'm going to move that out. Put it over here. Okay, then this whole assembly road. Hang on, what have I missed? Nope, this bit's up, and this whole bit rotates like that. Okay. These pieces come up like that. Rotate the legs around like that, yeah. Fold these bits up. And then get these tag treads down. And then the toes fold like that. And then the treads come back up, holding them in place. Lovely. Then the legs kind of, yeah, they go like that. I think they have to clip onto the side of this. Ah! Get off my fucking sweaty skin. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. Then this bit comes down like that. And these come down onto that. Okay, so it's kind of like an extra support to keep the legs in position. Good. God, I'm sorry for keep sniffing. I'm just fed up to keep blowing my nose because of the fucking, I'm assuming hay fever. I promise it's not because of all the cocaine I've been sniffing. Yep, those bits in there. Yep, that's all tabbed in place. And then we get the Requiem Blaster and extend the barrel like I did earlier. And then fold out this piece here. Oh, and then we get this with that little peg already folded out, and that goes there. And now you can see how it's working. This is the tank barrel. Sorry, I'm just adjusting it because I'm going to be triggered if it's not lined up correctly. Yep, good. Then the side of this pegs there. And that. Yeah, these bits just come and meet in the middle like that. Yep, I've folded them, had a minute to go. And there he is as a tank! Yay! Hang on, let me just make some adjustments. Oh yeah, I see what they mean. Okay. So, despite my glowing praise, there are some criticisms that I know some people have had, which I will also point out. They might be fixable through... Oh, yeah, I don't know, that doesn't look great. I'll show you what I mean in a second. But that is the Megatronus tank mode. Again, looking every bit as badass as his robot counterpart. Rolls surprisingly well. There's only 4 wheels. Obviously the tank treads don't move, but really good clearance, rolls really easily, and as I said, quite well. The turret does rotate, but kind of like from the back, so you get a lot of exposed tank kind of guff here. But, you know, it's good to have that articulation in a tank. After all, it should move like that. Now, we get onto the storage options. So, interestingly, you take these fire effect pieces, you take this axe and this sword and the machete. So the machete, you put the fire pieces on the side like this, which I think would actually look pretty cool in robot mode as well. Then this plugs into the end of it there. So actually that's another weapon configuration you could have for robot mode, is to have him hold it like this. Then it pegs onto the side, or tabs. Oh, I see, the instructions aren't particularly clear there, but you can also put the fire effect pieces on here, which then lets you tab this there, like that. And this tabs into the side of the treads here, by the looks of it. It's not going in there very easily, but there is a groove made for it. This is soft rubber plastic, so I don't want to force it too much because that will warp it quite easily. I know that's happened before on one of my Optimus Primes. His antenna was kind of a soft plastic because they're meant to flex a bit to kind of prevent them from snapping. But one of them bent too hard during transformation when I was figuring it out, and it's permanently out of shape, but not so much as you can notice it. So it wasn't a total loss, but still something to be aware of. And then again, these fire effect pieces just go on the available 5mm pegs. Ports, sorry. Just on the turret there. So, I mean, I've got to say, right, you know what I see there? I see a pair of big, bushy ginger eyebrows. Like, that's where the eyes would be. There's your hooter. There's the eyebrows. If you don't see it, then it's just me. But that I can't unsee that. So that's another reason for me to not really display him with the fire effect pieces. I think he's perfectly fine without them. So, sorry Hasbro, I'm taking these off. I'm removing the eyebrows. I'm shaving the eyebrows off. And there's nothing you can do. And that means I'll take these ones off as well. You can keep them together like that for convenience, I suppose. Alright, but then, again, with so many 5mm ports dotted around this thing, Cars the Transformer. I'm surprised that they haven't jumped on that. I suppose it's because Disney would have to have the final say-so. Mind you, there has been a Transformers Mickey Mouse, I think. So you can put these in any number of places. So you've got like an axe on the side, a machete there. I suppose you could even, if you really wanted to, you could move this barrel piece and have it somewhere else. It would shorten the tank barrel by quite a bit, but I think it would still look pretty badass. In fact, because that's I think it's a 5mm peg in there, you could maybe, jiffy these around and have like a different thing poking out of the gun barrel. Why would you need to? Don't know. Don't mind. Don't care. Yeah, wow. So the grievances with Megatronus have been minor, but they are there. It's to do with how the arms fold down either side of the cannon. They don't clip in anywhere or tab in. They are just sitting there. So, the only thing really holding them in place is the barrel. These bits at the front, you've kind of got the inside of the arms exposed there, but if you rotate it, thinking, oh, that'll make it look nicer, then you get these gappy sockets here, but you do get these, you've got 4 5mm ports now on the side, but you do get this kind of gappiness here. So, sorry, there you can see that you can see this tank turret isn't touching any part of the robot until here. So I think that's kind of what the arms were hiding. So if I rotate them back, it kind of fills in. Well, actually, no, it doesn't, does it? You can see right through there. So, yeah, I think that's the only thing that people have criticised. But I think it's more than made up for by an incredible robot mode. Like, literally. So cool. And badass. And epic. And all of the above. Let's just put his toys back. And then, of course, we're going to see all the vehicles side by side now. So there's Megatronus. There's Prima, or Prima Prime. And there's little Solus Prime. Yeah. I like that the 13 primes are not going to be uniform. They are going to have stark differences between each other. And I'm very excited to see them all as a complete set. From what little I know, Micronus Prime is kind of a combiner. He's like a little dude who pilots a larger mech suit kind of thing. And it turns into like some kind of motorcycle, which looks pretty cool. Alchemist Prime turns into like a big 4x4 thing, kind of like Bulkhead from Transformers Prime, I think. And yeah, I've already talked about Onyx Prime. Alpha Trion turns into a spaceship, I think, which I kind of think is a bit unimaginative, but since Alpha Trion's inception, we've never really seen an alternate mode for him. He was given one in Power of the Primes, which was a lion and a spaceship, I think, but they looked naff. They've given him a kind of a beast mode of sorts in Transformers 1, which was cool. But now they've just gone with spaceship. So, I don't know, it depends how good the spaceship is. But I'm excited to see Alpha Trion, because I could do with an Alpha Trion in my collection. So I promised that I would show these guys in robot modes as well. Sorry, let me just turn them for a little side view there. From the back. And from the other side. You can really see the size classes difference here, can't you? Deluxe, Voyager, Leader. You can actually see that they're bigger than each other. What was interesting about Studio Series Sentinel Prime for Transformers 1 is that even though he's a Voyager class figure, at head height, he is the same height as Deluxe class Optimus Prime. The only reason he's a Voyager is because he's got a giant wingspan. I'm removing the eyebrows. I'm shaving the eyebrows off. Thank you, Space. Right, okay. Robot forms. Solus Prime. Gotta think back to the instructions, because they were oh so long ago. Yeah, like that. Yeah, good. I think the feet are going to be pretty straightforward to do. Yeah, I've already done it. There we go. Put the head up. Put this bit down. See if I can get this bit lined up. Oh yes, good. Rotate those around, put the shoulders down. There we are. Solus Prime. Robot mode. And we'll have her holding her hammer. There we go. She's a little back heavy, won't lie. She does threaten to kind of wobble backwards a bit, but there we go, we've got her standing up there. Right, now primer. Okay, good. And then just sort the arms out. Oops. Yeah, see. Come on, Solus. Put your drink down. Solus Prime, Prima Prime. And now Megatronus. Let's make a bit of room here. What's gone wrong here? Oh, I see, like that, okay. Oh. Forgot to do his legs, there we go. Go. And now let's put everything back on his person. Actually, that might look pretty cool. Rather than sticking out of the side. Yeah, cool. There we have them. Prima Prime, Solus Prime, and Megatronus. Take a shot, by the way, for every time that I've said Prime this stream. I'll see you in the hospital. Yeah, it's kind of hard to visualize any kind of romance. It's kind of hard to visualize any particular kind of romance between these two. I mean, honestly, Solus looks a lot more elegant. But I don't know, maybe that's what Megatronus likes about her. Look at that, shall we have them gazing lovingly into each other's faces? I just died in your arms tonight. Except she literally did die in his arms. Spoilers for Cybertronian history. Yeah, honestly, despite that, they do look good together. Prima does kind of stick out like a sore thumb. I mean, he's like this bright character with like blue highlights and stuff. Definitely like designed to be the hero character among the Primes. But it did say that he's like, you know, Primus is chosen to lead the 13 Primes. So, yeah. But again, Megatronus definitely looks like the warrior that he is meant to be. And, you know, Solus, a lot more conservative with her hammer. Much more into creating things. I do think they fit their archetypes. Whilst also being badass in their own way. Exciting to see and behold. Yeah, they are just super, super cool. I am an enjoyer of the Age of the Primes line. I'm very excited for everything that the Age of the Primes line has to offer, including a Titan-class Optimus Prime, which I would like to get, but it is fucking massive, so I may have to hold on for a bit. At least until after I've moved. Well, yeah, there we go. The unboxing has come to an end. I'm really fucking hot. I'm not going to bother raiding. I don't think many people tune into a Transformers Tuesday anyway. So I am just going to leave things here. Aliens Fire Team Elite tomorrow. Again, no word on officially who's joining me for that. So we'll see. Oh, wait, no. J3 are on? Are you shitting me? Oh my god, they are. Oh, they're playing Peak. Oh, nice. Jimmy and Joe. And Jamie, who has no face cam. Thank God for that. Alright, nice. Yeah, sure, we'll go and raid the J3s. Thank you, Space. I mean, I wasn't going to raid just anyone. Of course it's going to be them. There you go, there's your raid message. The raid is active. Please just get those messages ready. Copy and paste them into the J3 chat when we arrive. I will see you guys for Aliens Fire Team Elite tomorrow. Farewell.
Not poisoned, probably. Where are you?
Definitely, probably might be.
What's that music? I think that might be outside my window in actual real life.
See, if it's Pitbull, it's not in-game. Oh, he's over here.
Give me that fruit. It's a coconut.
Don't stand on the jellyfish.
Oh, I can't eat the coconut, but I can throw it.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
You can power up throw.
Wow. Oh, hey, thank you, Jamie.
It's because you're in a crevasse. It's double echoey, so it must be extra echoey for me.
Me shouting into Joe's ass like.
Into Joe's ass.
Jamie, can you play the bugle in the crevasse?
I can do. Well, there's one more coconut up here. Can we grab it?